All right, what's up, everyone? Draft day. You probably already watched Kevin's State of the Franchise today. Rashid's will be soon after or before this, depending on timing when you watch which one. But happy draft day, Tim. Happy draft day. One of the best days of the year.
Happy draft day. They like to watch. I like to record. You know how it
Yeah,
goes.
two specialties. We figured we'd do a little mock draft because we're sick fucks. So me and Tim are gonna go back and forth here, probably through. You want to do it through round two? Is that crazy to go 2 rounds?
We can go 2 rounds.
Let's go 2 rounds. Yeah, because I feel like especially the first half of the first round might be pretty set. So might not be too many surprises. Um, so to start us off, we'll go back and forth. Tim, you're on the clock for Carney, first overall.
So I know we talked about this a while back, where I said I would take Hampton over Genty. I think Carney is still going to take Genty over Hampton. So let's go ahead and lock that in.
Yeah, we saw him Photoshop yesterday, Genty on the No Monkey Business jersey. Um, some murmurs about is that a little bit racist? I don't think he meant any harm, but he's got to be careful with some of these Photoshops. So with the second pick, I know it's me. In my state of the franchise, I already had him on my roster, so we'll just throw it in there. Amari and Hampton. So two running backs off the board right away.
And I've already declared this pick. It's Caleb Johnson. And just a little sidebar here. I was texting Bum earlier today. It sounds like Bum was in on Caleb Johnson. So I am kind of happy that I jumped up ahead of him
Wow,
because he
that
was a
is
wild card for me.
yeah, and I know I think I was the one that maybe pushed back on it there, saying like I'm not really sure if Tyler would have even taken Caleb Johnson there, so that's got to feel good to get that reassurance.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right, so this
Tyler's first pick. Who are you taking?
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting. I know Tyler's been trying to move down, maybe, so I don't think he's like set in stone, like got two guys he wants to take. It's really between, feels like for him, it's between Tet, Hunter. I think he takes Tet regardless, so I'll throw in Tet. I have no idea what his last name is. McMillan.
Yep. T Mac.
Um, T-Mac would have been easier. Now I think he needs a running back, but I think he actually likes Hunter better as a prospect. But I'll let you take the floor. Do you think he goes Trevion or does he stick wide receiver, wide receiver?
Yeah, I think he goes Trevion here because he needs the help at running back. And with his preseason, how can you not take him?
Yeah. Tyler obviously a big Pats guy too. Maybe he's a little hesitant with the Drake May and Trevion kind of taken from each other, but I mean, you can't be too worried about that. Maybe you can look at it another way as it having like an extra stack. Um, All right, if Trevion's off the board, I know you are very big on running backs, taking running backs. I know this is a guy you've liked. It feels like you've gotten a little bit colder on him maybe throughout you just haven't talked about him as much. But I'm gonna throw in RJ Harvey here for you. Running back out of Denver. Should get the receiving work right away and could contest for early down work by midseason.
And that's probably the pick for me. I'd be surprised if it's not at this point. Um, for you, I'm going to take Ibuka.
Is it Emmanuel Abuka? MBK,
I don't,
MBK. It is.
yeah,
It's
Rashid
MBK.
corrected me, whatever it is.
Yeah, he's definitely high up on my board. There's some tight ends I like. There's some other running backs I like. I'm not a huge fan of Travis Hunter, but I can understand why someone would take him. Um, and I think Ruff's got like the hype of Travis Hunter. So I'm gonna go Travis Hunter here in the eighth spot, wide receiver out of Jacksonville.
I'm going to go Warren, tight end for Indianapolis.
Yeah, I like that. Ruff needs a tight end. I think when we went over it, his that tight end one's probably Dallas Goedert, which I know he has his pop off weeks, but definitely needs some rejuvenation in that spot. And I think he'd be pretty happy with Travis Hunter, Tyler Warren,
Hmm.
at the back half of the first round. A lot of upside there. Rashid, this is a tough pick here because I know Rashid, if you've watched Rashid Stay the franchise, we talked about how his running back depth isn't the best. Obviously, he's star-studded, but he could use another running back. But he also is probably sick of Kyle Pitts, so I think he's going to be going back and forth with Loveland and Judkins here. Um, I think he could talk himself into Pitts being rejuvenated with Penix, so I'm gonna go Judkins for the high upside play. He doesn't need any immediate help right now, so just waiting on Judkins, even if it takes a year, I think is his best bet.
Yeah, and I agree. Just quickly, Jack, is 202 and 203 correct? Do I have 203 or do I have 202?
Pretty sure you have two. Yeah, I can check right now. That's on me. You can go ahead with my first pick while I'm checking that though.
Okay. You could use a tight end here. I'm going to call my shot here. I don't buy the Cam Scatabo hate that you've been throwing out, and I think that there's something to that. And I'm going to put Cam here.
You with Cam Scatabo?
I think so.
I love it. I do have the 202. That's my pick. So,
Okay,
um,
sure.
that is me. Sure. Uh, well, yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter who I go first, who I go second, because if Loveland's there for me, I'm probably gonna snag him. I'm hoping not to give up too much of information. I hope one of these tight ends falls to me, Warren or Loveland. I won't be too upset if they're both taken, but if one of them's there, I think I gotta go with the upside play and snag one of them.
Yeah, I think that's a solid pick. For me, probably Kyle Williams at this point. I'm really high on him.
Patriots wide receiver, they got they got a lot of Jags, it feels like. Diggs is obviously old, and I think Diggs is gonna have a solid year, be the wide receiver one this year. But I know Booty and Mario Douglas, they've been getting a little bit of hype, but I think that might just be more so that they've been in the system, they've been on with the team and basically getting the first shot at it. But I can see Kyle Williams kind of taking over by
Yeah,
midseason. Um, this is tough here. I do like a few guys, I have two receivers here that I would debate between. Um, and because I ended up with Loveland, I would probably hold off on Luther Burden. I don't want too much Bears. So I think I would go with the Green Bay guy and go Matthew Golden here at pick 14.
all right.
I don't think he'll be their number one guy, but just for the fact that a few guys, Watson and Reed were both injured, and Dobbs is a little bit banged up, so he's been getting a lot of run with the first team. Maybe that kind of rolls into the season, but I expect him to not really pop off until a couple years from now.
Yeah, and I think that's a great pick. You get in the first round wide receiver and second round of our draft. So got to feel good about that. Jillian, I'm going to throw you a little bit of a curveball here.
Sure.
I pulled it up. I don't think that this player is on anyone's team. So Ollie Gordon.
Okay. Running back for
I'm not.
Miami. He's a rookie,
Yes.
so
Uh, Is he a rookie? I thought he got drafted last year
mm,
to Miami. No.
maybe.
Okay. All right. It says zero experience. So you were right.
Yeah, I think he like popped off in 2023 and then had a down year last year and that he was supposed to go a lot higher initially. But I agree, he's looked good in preseason. Jalen Wright hasn't done anything to take over that number two role. And if Achane gets banged up, I love this pick here because then you have Achane's back up there if Achane were to miss time. Um, So I love that pick there. And we've seen Jillian do that before with James Conner and Trey Benson, drafted Trey Benson last year. So
Yep.
maybe she follows the same suit this year. Um, you at 2.06. So at this point you've drafted a receiver and two running backs. Um, there's one running back where I could see you going, but I'm gonna put in Luther Burden just because he is kind of an athletic freak, and I feel like you like athletic freaks. So it
Who
gives
was
you
the
another
who was the running back?
the Washington guy.
Yeah, that's
JCM.
if he's here at 206, that's probably the pick for me. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Okay, all right. So I'm swinging a miss by me
Throw in JCM for Hermes.
for Hermes.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously a guy that's really shot up the draft board. If we did this mock draft like even 3 weeks ago, I don't know if he gets sneaks into the second round, but the fact that he's looked good and they felt confident enough to trade Brian Robinson is a huge testament to him. And I know Chris Rodriguez has been getting some looks too, but you gotta imagine Chris Rodriguez was in the running back room last year, so if they felt that good about him, they probably would have moved off Brian Robinson last year.
Yep.
So you gotta figure it's JCM. All right, this one gets a little weird. I'm trying to think. Do you remember Tyler's quarter? Oh, he's got Drake May. Because I think at this point you're starting to think, when does Cam Ward go?
Yeah.
Um, I know he's not like a flashy guy, but I don't know. He's still the first overall pick in the draft. We can take a look at the best available here. Um, oh, you know what? There's a guy that did slip my mind, and I'll probably pencil him in for Tyler here. Is Jaden Higgins on Houston?
Yep.
Um, So I'll hit Tyler with Jaden Higgins on Houston. He's looks like he could compete for the number two role in three wide receiver sets with Christian Kirk in the slot and Jaden Higgins and Nico Collins on the outside. So yeah, they need some wide receiver help, and looks like he's been stepping up in camp.
Yeah, I feel like if you're Tyler and this is how the draft falls and you get Jaden Higgins in the late second, you got to feel great about that.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Ruff, can you just go back to that other page quickly?
Yeah. I don't think Ruff's quarterback situation is that great either. I know he's got Gino. Who's his starter?
Yeah,
Things we should know.
I think it's Brock Purdy and
Oh, right.
Gino.
That's right. That's right.
So I think that we probably got to throw in Cam Ward.
Yeah, I think Ruff's got to be pretty happy if this is how it turns out, especially because we were talking about how his wide receivers and quarter or his tight ends and quarterbacks just don't look great. And for him to get Tyler Warren and Cam Ward, potentially the number one running back or number one tight end and number one quarterback, could be that would be huge for
Yeah.
him. And then Rashid, he's probably going to go upside play. You can make a case for the Dallas running back here, Jaden Blue. There's a few receivers here that have been getting some looks, maybe Trey Harris, this Tennessee wide receiver, even some guys that have been around. Adonai Mitchell's kind of gotten a little bit of a boost this year from the looks of it. And a few of these Denver guys after Denver traded Vele to the Saints. But we talked about his running back depth. I'm going to go with the Jacksonville guy, Bryce Tutton, and I think he's got a hope that ETN and Bigsby maybe just don't take a stranglehold on that job, and maybe this guy takes over at some point. So Liam Cohen's guy, maybe they drafted him. I wouldn't put my money on it by any means, but I think it's a good shot here at the end of the second round. Any other guys that you would consider maybe sneaking into the second round?
Maybe a Mason Taylor. I just got a feeling about him where, his
Yeah,
dad is, I don't think that he's a Hall of Famer, Jason Taylor, but he is like a Hall of Fame talent to me. And
yeah,
that's got
I
to
think
count for something.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. There's like that little group of tight ends that I think we'll see go in the third round, the Ferguson, Arroyo, and Taylor. Um, but yeah, it's hard. Can be hard to talk yourself into taking them in the second, especially when there's like a little bit of a group there. And then yeah, running backs get thin early. I think you're holding for a bunch of backups in the fourth and fifth round and hoping that one of them kind of breaks through. And same thing with the receivers. There's a few high upside receivers, but again, they're going to be guys that you're kind of just hoping can step up throughout the season.
Yeah.
But all right, I'll go back to that real quick just to flash it one more time. So yeah, that's our mock draft. We'll see how well we did after the draft. But
What
yeah,
did we do last year? I think we were like 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10.
I think yeah, I should have say I don't know if I saved it, but I think we were pretty close.
Yeah.
But again, it's a little we might be cheating a little bit because we have a lot of the picks in the first couple rounds a little bit easier to hit on the picks if we're making them. But yeah, any final words, any parting words?
No, that's it. I'm excited for the draft. You're going to need to get on the road soon here, buddy.
Yeah, seriously. Same here. All right. Thank you guys.
All right.